as a boy standing on a beach. I felt the waves lapping at my feet.
Okay, I know what you're thinking. Oh please, not another gin. Well, this one is different. Besides its fancy name, Tarquin's gin is made by the Southwestern Distillery in Cornwall, and they're the first gin distillery in Cornwall for over 100 years. Now, Southwestern Distillery also make this Cornish Pastis. Cornish Pastis, you get it? It is fun. Anyways, Pastis is an aniseed type liquor, very famous in France, like Pernod. Anyways, this is the first pastis to be made in the UK ever. So, well, I thought people should know about it. So who is this Southwestern Distillery? Well, essentially it's a one-man operation, though Tarquin does get a bit of help from his sister. He studied economics and politics at Bristol, then went over to France and studied about chefing at the Cordon Bleu School of Cuisine. Then he came back to London and decided to get an office job. That didn't last. In his heart was always a desire to produce something artisanal around food and drink. So he went down to Cornwall and started a distillery. Now, production is very small. Tarquin can only manage about 300 bottles per batch. So we're talking about really properly handcrafted stuff. And as you can see, the wax on there, they're all hand dipped. Now, Tarquin's gin contains most of the botanicals you're used to seeing: coriander, juniper, lemon zest, licorice root. But his secret weapon is Devon violets that are picked from his own parents' garden. Now, I must admit to loving the packaging on these bottles. It's just beautiful to the eye. But enough about the way the bottle looks. What does the gin actually taste like? The first thing that you get is that citrus, that really bold orange, grapefruit, lemon zest, really bouncing into your nose. The juniper, the coriander, a little bit of licorice. But what I got the first time I tried this was like salty fresh air. There was just such a bracing, fresh, clean quality to it. This is really bold and spicy gin. It's not sat back or being casual. This is really in your face, powerful, personality-driven gin. On the palate, some of those other botanicals come to the fore. Bitter almond, green cardamom, cinnamon. It's spicy, it's bold, it's exotic. It's great gin. Now, this Cornish Pastis is really a niche product, but I think it's great that Tarquin's making something different and interesting alongside his gin. To flavor it, Tarquin adds the traditional aniseed, star anise, and licorice, but then puts his own twist by adding local forage gorse flowers from the nearby cliffs and orange zest. Pastis is normally drunk with a splash of water, and it's nice before a meal to get the taste buds going. I'm going to try it on its own, though, to get the purity of the flavors. First off, I get thick, black, chewy licorice. That aniseed floating around in the background, a little spice of the star anise. But there is a slight floral character coming through, slightly lifted, slightly perfumed. Ooh, that's good. Slightly woody, slightly smoky. It's bolder and fuller flavored than a lot of the pastises I've had from France in the past. There's a real generous character to it. So in addition to producing the first gin in Cornwall for 100 years, and a very good gin at that, and the first UK pastis ever, Tarquin is a really great guy. I met him at a food fair in Exeter, and he agreed to give me a ride down to Cornwall to my friend's place because the trains were out. Later, I went to visit him at the distillery, basically a lockup at an industrial park, with just enough room for Tamara, the copper pot still, the bottles, the tables for labeling that they all do by hand, and the fabulous pot of wax on a burner in the office. We're really living in a golden age of craft and artisanal products being made right here in the UK. Southwestern Distillery and Tarquin with his gin and his Cornish Pastis are really at the forefront of it. so do seek them out.
The dark before the dawn.